Assalamu alaikum, dear students. How are you? I hope that you are well by the grace of Almighty Allah. I am fine too. Dear students, I think and believe that you are with me at this moment, and I also believe that you are with your study mood. So please, students, today we will learn from English second paper our today's topic, parts of speech, that I was teaching you in my former classes, and you know that I took 2 classes on parts of speech, and in that classes I taught you about noun, pronoun, adjective. But today I will teach you another 2 topics, that is another 2 parts of speech, that is verb and adverb. So first I will discuss about verb. We will discuss about verb first. Verb. You know what is verb? Can you give me definition of verb? Verb is actually a word by which we can do something. I mean, verb is a word by which something is done. So, in a word or in a sentence, we can define about verb like this. A verb is a doing word. A verb is a doing word. আমরা যদি ভার্বকে বাংলায় সংজ্ঞায়িত করি তাহলে আমরা এভাবে বলবো যে যে শব্দ দ্বারা কোনো কিছু করা, থাকা বা হওয়াকে বোঝায় তাকে আমরা বলবো ভার্ব বা ক্রিয়া। I mean, the verb is a word by which we can do something. I mean, something is done is called verb. So, what does a verb indicate? Let's try to know what does the verb indicate. Let's try to know about the functions of verb. First, verb indicates what indicates verb? What the subject does. What the subject does. Like, I'm giving an example. The boy sleeps a sound sleep. Here, subject, what does the subject does here? Here the subject, the boy. And what is he doing? He sleeps. So, look, what the subject does? What the subject does? The boy sleeps a sound sleep. Next, what is done to the subject? What is done to the subject? Subject কে দিয়ে কি কাজটি করা হয়, যে কাজটি করা হয়, that is the cat is chased by a dog. Here the subject is a dog, but its expression in this sentence is in passive mode, and the cat, this is an object. So the cat is chased by a dog. This is a passive sentence. Here a dog is actually subject, but the cat is actually object. In this sentence, the cat is chased. Seemingly, it seems to us that the subject is the cat. Actually, that's not. The subject is a dog. The cat is chased by a dog. Next, verb indicates what the subject is. What the subject is. Like we can say Rabindranath a world poet. Is the world poet. Look, here verb is. So here the subject Rabindranath Tagore. It indicates what is Rabindranath? He is the world poet. So what the subject is. Verb indicates what the subject is. Here the subject Rabindranath and its identity is the world poet. Next, what the subject has. Verb indicates what the subject has. Like I have a pen. Here subject I. What do I have? I have a pen. Okay. So we have to know what verb indicates. First, what the subject does, what is done to the subject, what the subject is, and what the subject has. We have to know these four things. Then it will be clear to us about the function of verb. Now we will go to another function of verb. Look, a verb actually consists of a single word. Simultaneously, a verb consists of more than one word. Like, if I write a sentence, the child sleeps. Look, here the verb sleeps, a single word. Second sentence, the boy has been advised to do his work in time. Here verb has been advised. Here verb, three words. Has been advised. So verb may be consisted of both one word and more than one word. Okay. So now we will go to the classification of verbs. Classification of verbs. In the primarily verbs are of two kinds. You know, verbs are of two kinds. If we classify verb, we get only two forms. Primarily, what are their names? First, finite verb, and another verb that is non-finite verb. So we have to know first what is finite verb. Finite verb is that kind of verb by which a sentence cannot be thought of. We cannot think of forming a sentence. Without a finite verb, we cannot think of forming a sentence. I mean, finite verb is the main verb of a sentence. Without this verb, we cannot imagine of forming a sentence. For example, he wants to do the work. like. Look, here subject he, verb wants to do the work. Here there are two verbs. One wants and another one do. So if you omit these wants from this sentence, the sentence will be like this: he to do the work. Will it be a sentence? I think not. It's not. It's not a sentence because the sentence lacks of a verb which is the main verb, which is the finite verb. This is the finite verb. So finite verb is actually that kind of verb without which a sentence cannot be formed. Okay, so here once, this is finite verb. Okay, and non-finite verb. Non-finite verb is that kind of verb actually which is not controlled by the subject, person and number. And non-finite verb is used in a sentence to extend the sentence, to add additional meaning of the sentence. Non-finite verb actually gives the additional information in a sentence. So non-finite verb actually, this is the opposite of finite verb. Look, in this sentence, what is the non-finite verb? If I write the sentence he wants, that's actually subject. But if you write the sentence like he wants to do the work, here to do, this is the non-finite verb. This is the non-finite verb. So if you omit this to do, he wants the work, that is also a sentence. That may be also a sentence. But if you write he wants to do the work, then the sentence will be more clear. And these to do, this is the non-finite verb. It has been added to extend the meaning, to give more information in a sentence. So non-finite verb is actually that kind of verb which is not controlled by the subject, person and number. I think you have understood what is finite verb and what is non-finite verb. So now we will go to another division of finite verb. First we will discuss about finite verb, then non-finite verb. Finite verb can be classified into another two forms. What are their names? Principal verb and auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verb. Finite verb and non-finite verb. Principal verb and auxiliary verb. These are the two forms of finite verb. If you classify finite verb, you will get two forms, that is principal verb and auxiliary verb. But what is principal verb? Principal verb is actually, this is the main verb. This is the root verb in a sentence. Okay, and auxiliary verb, the verb that helps the principal verb, or that the verb that assists the principal verb, that is called auxiliary verb. I am writing a sentence where there is both an auxiliary verb and a principal verb. So, I am reading a novel. Here, subject I, am, auxiliary verb, reading, this is the principal verb, and object a novel. But from this sentence, if you omit this am, so the sentence will be like this: I reading a novel. Is it a correct sentence? Grammatically correct is it? No, this is not a correct sentence. But if you put here am, the sentence will be a correct sentence, and it will be a sentence of present continuous tense. So auxiliary verb is also an important plays an important role in forming a sentence. So finite verb, this is the root verb or main verb, and if you classify the verbs, you will get two forms, one auxiliary and another one principal, and both the verbs are needed to form a sentence. So both are important. both are important in forming a sentence. So auxiliary verb is also a part of finite verb. Finite verb can be classified into two forms. They are principal verb and another one auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verb, that kind of verb that assists the principal verb, and principal is, you know, the root verb, main verb. Okay, next, if you classify the principal verb, you will get another two forms. What are their names? Principal verb, principal verb, principal verb can be classified into two another forms. What are their names? They are transitive verb and another one intransitive verb. Intransitive verb. What is a transitive verb? Transitive verb বাংলায় আমরা যেটাকে বলি সকর্মক্রিয়া। সকর্মক্রিয়া আই মিন যে সেন্টেন্সের মধ্যে অর্থাৎ যে ভার্ব একটি অবজেক্ট গ্রহণ করতে পারে সেটাকে আমরা বলি কি ট্রানজিটিভ ভার্ব বা সকর্মক্রিয়া। আই মিন the verb with an object is a transitive verb, and intransitive verb the verb without an object. Without an object a sentence can be formed, that is called intransitive verb. I am giving an example of transitive verb. It will be clear to you. Look, I write a letter. I write a letter. Here, subject I, write the main verb, and the object a letter. Look, the sentence is with an object. I mean the verb with an object. What is the verb? Write. If you say the sentence like this, I write, the sentence may be correct, but something is absent. It seems to be something absent in this sentence. What is that? An object. I mean the sentence is without an object. But if you write, I write a letter, the sentence will be complete, because you know a sentence consists of a full sentence, or a meaningful sentence consists of three parts: one subject, another one verb, or then an object or a complement. So I write a letter. Here there are three components here: one I subject, write verb, and a letter object. So this is a complete sentence. So the sentence with an object, I mean the verb with an object, can be called a transitive verb. But there are some sentence, there are some verbs, there are some sentence, and in that sentence there are some verbs. The verbs don't need to take an object. The verbs don't need to take an object. Without an object, a sentence can be complete. Like if I say, we sleep at night. Look, here we subject, sleep verb, and at night, this is not an object. This is an adverbial phrase. We sleep at night. So we subject, sleep verb, but not at night. This is an object. At night কিন্তু এখানে অবজেক্ট নয়, তাহলে এখানে সেন্টেন্সটা কিন্তু কমপ্লিট হচ্ছে। আই মিন সেন্টেন্সের সাবজেক্ট যা বলতে চাচ্ছে সেটা কিন্তু ক্লিয়ার। উই স্লিপ অ্যাট নাইট, আরও কোনো কিছু শোনার কোনো প্রয়োজন নেই। এখানে যদি কোনো অবজেক্ট আমরা না বসাই তাহলে সেন্টেন্সটা কিন্তু সঠিক হচ্ছে। অর্থাৎ যে ভার্বগুলো একটা অবজেক্ট ছাড়াই কি তার সেন্টেন্সে কমপ্লিট করতে পারে, অর্থ কমপ্লিট করতে পারে, সেটাকে আমরা বলবো, ওই ভার্বগুলোকে আমরা বলবো intransitive verb. Here sleep is that kind of an intransitive verb. Okay, so what is transitive and what is intransitive? It's clear to you. So now we go to the classification of auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verb can be classified into three forms. What are their names? Primary auxiliary, primary auxiliary, modal auxiliary, modal auxiliary and semi-modal auxiliary. Semi-modal auxiliary. Primary auxiliary. What is a primary auxiliary? Primary auxiliary actually the main auxiliary that we frequently use in sentence, like am, is, are, was, were, etc. etc. Primary auxiliary can be classified into another three forms. What are their names? Do verb, be verb, and have verb. Do verb. What are the do verbs? Like do, does, did. Be verb, that is am, is, are, was, were, been. All are be verb. And have verb, have, has, had, having. So primary auxiliary are of three forms. They are do verb, be verb, and have verb. Do verb, do, does, did. Be verb, am, is, are, was, were, been. And have verb, have, has, had, having. Modal auxiliary. There are so many modal auxiliaries, you know, like can, could, may, might, should, shall, will, must, etc. And semi-modal auxiliary, there are some auxiliaries that can be used both as main verb and auxiliary. That is called semi-modal auxiliary. I mean, there are some auxiliaries that can be used both as modal auxiliaries and semi-modal auxiliaries, like need, dare, need, dare. These two actually sometimes used to. These three words are used as semi-modal auxiliary because you can use this need as a main verb, you can use this dare as a main verb, you can use this used to as a main verb. Similarly, you can use both the three, all the three as a modal in a sentence. So these are called semi-modal auxiliary. I think you have understood what is an auxiliary verb. So next, we will go to non-finite verb. What is a non-finite verb? Non-finite verb. You know what is non-finite verb? Actually, I gave you definition before. Non-finite verb, you know, that kind of verb which is not controlled by the subject, person and number of a sentence. That is non-finite verb. But this type of verb is used to add something, I mean to extend the meaning of the sentence, to give another more information in the sentence, to make the sentence more clear, more meaningful. Non-finite verb is used in a sentence. This non-finite verb are of three kinds, you know. Non-finite verbs are of three kinds. What are their names? Number one, participle. Number two, gerund. And number three, infinitive. Infinitive. So non-finite verb can be classified into three forms. What are their name? Participle, gerund, and infinitive. Look, participle. What is participle? What is gerund, and what is infinitive? Participle of a participle in a sentence is that it actually does dual function. What is that? A participle does the function of an adjective. Similarly, a participle does the function of a verb. You know, all these three words, all these three things actually come from originally comes from verb. So first it will do the function of a verb first, then it will do the function of another parts of speech. So Jiran minded participle and infinitive. This participle will do the function of an adjective and a verb. But gerund and infinitive, these two items actually, these two things actually will do the function of both noun and verb. So participle does the function of an adjective and verb, and gerund and infinitive will do the function of a noun and a verb. Like I am giving an example. Participle. I saw a ship coming towards us. I saw a ship coming towards us. Look, here I subject, saw finite verb, object a ship, and another verb here, that is coming. So this coming is not the main verb or the principal verb or the finite verb is in this sentence. This coming is actually the non-finite verb in this sentence. And in what mood the sentence the verb is? Is it participle, gerund or infinitive? You know, participle, the structure of participles are of three kinds. One, present participle, that consists of verb plus ing, consists of verb plus ing. Gerund consists of verb plus ing. So somewhat perplexing seems to be. Present participle consists of verb plus ing, gerund consists of verb plus ing. So how to identify whether the verb is used in gerund as gerund or participle? That's the question. So you have to keep it in your memory. I mean participle. Participle must do the function of an adjective, but gerund must do the function of a noun. Just keep it in your memory. Present participle consists of verb plus ing. Look, here coming, is it used as a gerund or a participle in this sentence? I mean present participle. Look, I saw a ship. আমি একটি জাহাজ দেখলাম, জাহাজের একটা অবস্থা প্রকাশ করছে, কোন অবস্থায় দেখলাম। তো অবস্থা যদি প্রকাশ করে অবশ্যই সেটা একটা অ্যাডজেক্টিভের কাজ করবে, নিশ্চয়ই এটা কোনো নাউনের কাজ করছে না। আর জেরান্ড যদি হয় তাহলে নাউনের কাজ করবে। আর নাউনের মেইন ফাংশন হচ্ছে দুইটি, একটা হচ্ছে যে নাউন উইল ডু দ্য ফাংশন অফ অ্যান অবজেক্ট অর এ সাবজেক্ট। এখানে যেটা আসছে আই স আ শিপ, আমি একটা জাহাজকে দেখলাম, জাহাজের কোন অবস্থা দেখলাম? জাহাজের আসা অবস্থায় আমরা দেখলাম। সো কামিং হিয়ার ইজ of course it's an adjective. I mean it's gerund. It's a participle. It's a present participle. I saw a ship coming towards us. Present participle, past participle এর structure হচ্ছে past participle of verb. Past participle of verb and perfect participle structure will be like this: having plus past participle of verb. Mind it, present participle consists of verb plus ing, past participle form of verbs, and perfect participle having plus past participle of verb. These are the structures of participle. Gerund, you know, I have told you that gerund consists of verb plus ing, but will do the function of noun also. And infinitive structure is 2 plus infinitive 2 plus verb. Infinitive স্ট্রাকচারটা কি হবে? verb. তাহলে আমরা কি জানলাম? Non-finite verbs can be classified into 3 forms: one participle, gerund, and infinitive. Participle are of 3 kinds. One, present participle. Structure is verb plus ing and will do the function of an adjective. Past participle structure, past participle form of verb, but will do the function of an adjective. Perfect participle is structure having plus past participle form of verb will do the function of an adjective. Gerund, the structure of gerund is verb plus ing and infinitive 2 plus verb, but both the forms will do the function of a noun. আমি 3টা एग्जांपल পার্টিসিপল, একটা জিরান্ড আর একটা ইনফিনিটিভ দিয়ে আজকে ক্লাস শেষ করব। প্রেজেন্ট পার্টিসিপল আমি লিখেছি, আমি এখন জিরান্ড দিয়ে একটা সেন্টেন্স লিখছি। সুইমিং ইজ দ্য বেস্ট এক্সারসাইজ। I like to take a cup of tea in every morning. Look, here swimming. This is the subject, this sentence. So, and the verb is. So, what is the subject of the verb is? Of course, swimming. So, you know, the function of a noun is to do the activity of, the function of noun is to do the function of subject in a sentence. I mean, a subject, of course, a subject must be a noun. So, swimming is noun and comes from swim, verb swim, and you are adding ing. So, this is the structure of swimming is, of course, gerund. So this is the subject and its function is actually in grammar. This is gerund. So this is gerund. I like to take a cup of tea. Here, this is here subject I, like verb, and its object I like. আমি পছন্দ করি, কি পছন্দ করি? This is the object, to take a cup of tea. This phrase. So I like to take. This is the used as an object to take a cup of tea. I like, আমি পছন্দ করি, এই লাইক ভার্বের অবজেক্ট ফ্রেজটা কাজ করছে। সুতরাং এটার স্ট্রাকচার কিভাবে হচ্ছে? 2 plus verb, to take. This is infinitive. So structure of infinitive is 2 plus verb. আমরা আজকে যেটা করলাম সেটা হচ্ছে যে verb in details, but our time is almost over. We have no more time to start another grammar topic, that is adverb. So in my next class I will discuss it. So as your homework I am giving verb and its classification in detail. I mean, your homework is verb and its classification in details. You have to learn at home what is verb and its classification in details. Okay, so here is so much. Thank you. See you in my next class. Thank you very much.